aren't worried. And then the conclusion that Bill draws is because the stations in Boston get higher ratings on the terrestrial radio side, that everybody in Boston cares about sports and is passionate, and everybody in L.A. doesn't, and no one is listening. The truth of the matter is this would be the equivalent. And I want to make perfectly clear. I like Bill. I think he's a great writer. He's their lead baseball writer. I don't know why he's writing this article, but he is.
I think he covers sports business now, too, somehow.
So, but he writes this article, and he talks about how, if he mentions KLAC, and he mentions us, and he interviewed Mason, and he interviewed Don Martin, my old boss at 570, and he talks about how, why isn't anyone listening? And Mason and Don both tried to explain to him, no, people are listening. You're not looking at the right metrics. Mm-hmm. Don won't even call it radio anymore. He calls it audio because people listen in a million different ways now. Some of you guys are listening on your phones. We're really proud of our app, our ESPN LA app.
You can download it in 5 seconds.
Yeah, because it's one tap and you're in.
I know.
And
I did it. It really was 5 seconds.
Our show, because it's on 1 to 4 in the afternoon, a lot of people are listening on their computers in their office. So you can listen now on our app. You can listen on your computer. If you're driving around in your car, you can listen on terrestrial radio. And we know it works, and we know that people are listening because we do all these live events, and we judge it by how many people react to them. And this would be the equivalent of Bill, me saying to Bill, okay, 10 years ago, everybody on my street subscribed to the LA Times. Now not one person subscribes to the LA Times, which means nobody must read you. That's wrong. They're going online. They're consuming it, on their phones, on their thing. They're just finding different ways to listen to your product. And Amanda, I was proud of her. She jumped in and responded to Bill. She said, what you failed to mention is that the ratings you're talking about are based on 2,500 meters in a market of 12 million people.
Yeah.
That would be, again, the equivalent of me writing a whole article on why doesn't anybody read the LA Times based on the fact that the paper doesn't get delivered to your driveway. That's not, you're using the wrong formula. And I'm shocked that a writer as good as Bill, and again, he's great, fell for this. I don't get it. What did you think when you read it?
So it sounded like it sounded like a story he got assigned to write, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, and then you go and report it
We've
out.
all had those.
And there was a lot in there that I thought there were some good points. I thought, being on an AM station versus FM, people tend to listen. The ratings on FM tend to be higher. Those are good, all good points. Right. Interesting about the different types of fans. Like in the East Coast, they thrive on passion and anger and
they want to kill someone if the Red Sox make 2 errors in the eighth.
Like that. I think those are all good points. I think a lot of it is like it's a premise story. So if your premise is no one's listening, but you fail to question the premise, and you're just trying to look for explanations, then the first step is flawed, right? It's flawed logic. However, I have a totally different take.
Okay.
My totally different take is this happens on our side of the business all the time. Reporters, like when we write a story about a player or a coach or a decision-making process, get it wrong all the time. We get it wrong a lot. And some of it is because people don't do a good job of explaining it. Some of it is because stuff is off the record. Some of it is because there's anonymous sources who have agendas and want to steer you one way. Like the other day, there was a story about the Lakers are going to run their offense through Anthony Davis. Okay. I made a couple calls, wanted to see what it was about. I'm told that line got a couple of laughs in the Lakers facility. Oh, I don't know what that's about.
Unless Darvin Ham says it, it's probably not true.
And it was sort of a rough, like, I think Darvin said something to the effect of, like, Anthony Davis is they're really important. They're the most important player because he's been hurt, and if they're going to be a great team, Anthony Davis has to be great. And so somehow that got translated, four people removed into whatever story this came out as the offense is running through Anthony Davis.
Right.
Okay, it doesn't hurt anybody that story, unless LeBron gets bent out of shape on it, which I don't think he will.
Right.
Doesn't hurt anybody. Nobody really jumps in to correct the record. Lets it go.
Yeah.
Stuff like this happens all the time. And I actually, in my line of work, I always say to people who I cover, hey, if we get something wrong, if I write something that is totally wrong, please tell me. Okay?
Right.
A lot of times, especially in social media, we hear about it from people on Twitter who don't know anything, okay? You can't even believe my mentions. Like, stuff I said that got twisted
I've seen them
17 different ways, and I'm like, that's not even what I said anymore, and now I got aggregated a different way. Like, I hate the lack of accountability that happens. So if you write an article that is critical of us, okay, we'll tell you what we think, and then we've all had our say.
By the way, my buddy Michael Roth just texted me.
Yeah.
Bill's shaken like you in the Jewish Sports Hall of Fame.
Yes, he is.
And again, I'm not making this personal about Bill. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
Amanda's here. So for people who don't know, Amanda Brown produced our show for years, has worked in radio her whole career, was in Bristol, then is here, now's our program director. Amanda, just curious, what did you think when you read it?
First it starts with that whole East Coast, West Coast sports talk radio, right? And I
worked 2 animals.
Yeah,
different.
and I lived in Connecticut and worked at the network for 5.5 years, so I got a taste of that whole Boston, New York, sports talk radio. Which, by the way, the weather is a factor. Those people are locked in their houses a lot, right? Listen to a lot more sports talk radio and radio in general, right? My issue was, if you're going to do a story like that, have all the facts. Right, so that's why I pointed out to him, and I respect Bill a ton. I think
we all do.
Yeah, I think
he's a really good guy
at what he does, and I wasn't going to attack him. My point was, if you're going to put it out there, put all the facts out there, right? Like, first of all, I want to apologize to our listeners that show up at our events and listen on a daily basis. Just because you guys don't have a meter doesn't mean you matter. You actually all matter more to us.
Right.
Those of you that show up to us, listen every day, call, tweet, all that, you guys matter. I think this is insulting to all of you.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I will say this, that the headline is so deceiving. No one listens to sports talk radio in L.A. I can assure you that's not true.
Yeah, just go to one of our events. I'm sure it
goes.
Well,
not only that, like
I can tell you the level of engagement I get
every
out in
day.
The field
you're a good example. Think of how your life changed and your recognizability changed from the time you started working with us.
So I would say I get, in terms of what do I get the most response from people either on social media or out in live, like just walking around, going to a game at Dodger Stadium or going to a game at Staples Center or CryptoCrypto.com or whatever. Okay. It definitely radio. When I break news tends to be the ultimate cut through thing. You break a story, somebody signed a thing, somebody got traded, somebody got fired. That's the most. But more so than even appearing on TV on SportsCenter. Like I'll do a SportsCenter hit and I don't hear anything about it or see anything about it. But if I'm on local radio, all the time.
Yeah, it's in, and so we wanted to just mention it and bring it up. And again, this isn't an attack on Bill, but it's weird. Like, Helene's story had John Mason and Steve Ireland, and then 2 days later, nobody listens to Sports Talk Radio. Amanda, did you alienate the LA Times in some way, shape, or form?
No, in fact,
we love them.
I'm a subscriber.
In fact,
Those are my
I
buds,
mean, we do things together, actually. So it is a little odd. I'm not gonna lie, but also keep in mind, I'm guessing that Bill did not write the headline for the article.
Oh, thank you for bringing that up.
So I'm not gonna blame him for that, because those of us in the business and industry know that the people that write the headlines aren't usually the person that writes the article.
Good point. Also, really good point.
The truth is, and this is one of my favorite lines, okay? You gotta, don't pet the sweaty stuff and don't sweat the petty stuff.
I don't think I could even repeat that. That's so confusing.
Don't sweat it. It's petty. It doesn't matter.
And I will say this. I pay to subscribe to the LA Times. I read it every single day. I read everything Bill writes, and you should too. He just got this wrong.
Yeah, it's okay. It
happens. It happens to all of us. Yeah. All right. Reminder, coming up later this hour is Bobcat. And later today, the lie that you think I've lied yet?
Oh.
I got one.
I think you might have.
All right. Well, it's my lie. Yeah. If you can identify the lie of the day, you will get 2 suite passes to go to Jacob and Ronnie's suite at the LAFC game on Tuesday night. Most of the people from the station are going. I'm in Idaho next week, but Mason will be there. Bergman will be there. Jorge, you going?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so it's Jacob and Ronnie's suite. He'll be there, and you can win 2 suite passes to the LAFC game if you can correctly identify my lie of the day at 3:30. Coming up next, Sports Illustrated has picked a team to win it all in the NBA next year, and you'll be shocked who they picked. First, let me tell you about one of our favorite
This is Mason and Ireland on your home of Rams football, 710 ESPN.
True story, Greg.
No way that's a true story.
I just made Bergman laugh.
Oh. I'm going to rewind.
Made me laugh.
No, it didn't happen just now. It happened yesterday.
Okay.
But I'll send you the screenshot.
Yes, please do.
All right. Ramona's in for Mace. I'm John Ireland. Mason in Ireland. Lots to get to today. We're emptying the bin on a Friday. Sports Illustrated has ranked their top NBA teams going into next season. Their pick to win it all, ranked number 1 next season, is?
Boston?
Nope. Want to try again?
Clippers?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people.
The Clippers. Here's what they wrote. On paper, with a heavy emphasis on paper, this team is sick. The Clips appear to have the best mix of shooting and defense in the league, two things that tend to be important come playoff time. They also have incredible depth and a hilarious amount of lineup flexibility. They can give you a traditional look with Ivica Zubac at center, or they can go small and get funky. Ty Lue has a plethora of options to put around Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, with John Wall, Reggie Jackson, Luke Kennard, Nick Batum, Marcus Morris, Norman Powell, Terrence Mann, and Robert Covington, literally all bringing something different to the table. Sorting out minutes could create some headaches, but it's a good problem to have. Whatever is thrown the Clippers' way, Lue should have an answer for. Ultimately, though, it'll come down to Kawhi and PG, both being ready to go during the postseason. If they're good to go, Clippers could be a cut above everyone else. Wait a minute, what? Who did that?
It was funny.
That
whole thing was very, very funny to me.
I actually respect the Clippers. I think they're going to be really good.
It's
now,
because you work in the league.
I do, but I don't think anything they wrote, Ramona, is necessarily incorrect.
No.
What I'd be worried about if I put all the John Ireland fortune on the Clippers to win the NBA title is they've never indicated they have that club in their bag, that when the chips are down, when it's important, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George will be, number 1, available, and number 2, not what they were in Game 7 against Denver 2 years ago when they couldn't make a shot. Kawhi's won titles in 2 different cities, Toronto and San Antonio. Paul George obviously has never won a title. I think they're super talented. I think it's a stretch to put them number 1 above everyone else. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a stretch, and I think it's disrespectful to the Warriors, to be honest. The Warriors just won. They have pretty much everyone back. I mean, they lost a few of their role players, but they replaced them with some good choices too. I always think, unless it's a total fluke or somebody loses a big free agent, should have the defending champion as the favorite next year. Like Toronto, okay, they lost Kawhi Leonard, fine.
Right.
The Warriors should be the favorite. Then it should be Boston. Those are the 2 teams in the finals. The Clippers are really good on paper. And the other day when I was hosting NBA Today, we had Bobby Marks and Tim Bontemps on, and both of them were doing the same exact thing. All in on the Clippers. Tim Bonds, I got them winning it all. I got them the best team in the Western Conference. And I was like, guys, I feel like I've been on this show before. When Windhorst, Jackie McMullen, everybody did this a couple years ago. And my thing with the Clippers were great when they got Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, and they didn't win. They lost in the bubble. They were great the next year, and Kawhi got hurt in that, and I think they probably would have beat Phoenix.
They lost in the Western Conference Finals.
And I think they probably would have beat Phoenix if Kawhi didn't get hurt. However, the Clippers are fine being the underdog. They would prefer not to be the favorite. This is their identity. They play better when there's not a lot on them. I actually thought the year that they got Kawhi and Paul the first year, when there was this battle for L.A. and this amped up, oh, look, the Clippers are finally arrived, and they got the 2. I thought that was bad for them. I actually thought, because then when they fell and they didn't win, it was a harder fall. And, of course, the Lakers end up winning that year. They do they're always the younger brother. They're always the underdog in L.A., and I think they play better that way.
But how do they play better if they don't win?
They went to the Western Conference Finals when no one expected anything of them.
Right. But here's the other thing that nobody's talking about.
Greg,
Anthony Davis arrived in the same month that Paul George and Kawhi Leonard went to the Clippers. They all got to L.A. at the same time. Yeah. Anthony Davis is hammered publicly for his lack of availability. Charles Barkley nicknamed him street clothes.
Yep.
All anybody talks about is why can't Anthony Davis stay healthy? He's a huge problem. I'm not picking the Lakers because I don't trust AD to stay healthy, blah, 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 blah. Anthony Davis has played more games in those 3 years than either Kawhi Leonard or Paul George.
Wow.
Anthony Davis has played more than they have, but they're not under the Laker microscope. They're not being scrutinized because nobody really follows the Clippers. The Clippers don't have the national following that the Lakers does. I'm not one of these guys like Greg who plays a laugh track or like Mason who just dismisses the Clippers out of hand. I think they're really good. I love Ty Lue. I think he's a great coach. I think their roster is insane.
It's great.
I think it's really good. I think they probably give the Warriors a huge run for their money in the division. But when the playoffs are down and it's time to go, Paul George has proven he's not a playoff performer.
Okay, I'm going to check you on that one, though.
Okay.
He was that. That was his reputation until the 2021 season.
Right.
And then he was great. Like, he was great in that series against the Dallas Mavericks and great against the Utah Jazz, great against the Phoenix. He almost beat the Suns by himself.
Right, but Ramona, he's been in the league like 12 years.
I know.
And he did it
he's
once.
Got the playoff P thing, and everybody knocks him for what happened in the bubble. And sometimes what happens is until you win, everybody just remembers your failures. But
that's true.
Everybody and the year where the Clippers were great, when they went to the Western Conference Finals, they almost beat the Suns without Kawhi Leonard. Like, they didn't have Kawhi that entire series.
They have a great coach, and they have great depth. And I think that they're a real force to be dealt with.
Me too.
I don't know if I'd pick them number one.
I wouldn't either. Out of respect for the Warriors and, frankly, the Suns.
Yeah.
Frankly, the Suns should be up there ahead
But I
of the
found
Clippers.
it interesting that it seems like the national media...
It's like they're falling for it. Don't do that again. Haven't you learned? Don't pick the Clippers. Because
I think they're one of only 8 teams in the league that have never even been to the finals.
And before that, it was the conference finals. When they went in 2021, it was the conference finals for the first time ever.
But it is something to keep an eye on. A lot of national people very high on the Clippers.
And the Clippers don't want you to pick them. Like, I'm telling you, they know.
Too late. Sports
don't.
Illustrated just did.
Yeah, I know, and my colleagues did too.
Yeah.
It's just,
yeah, a lot of people do. All right, coming up next, I think most Rams fans think that Odell Beckham Jr. is going to come back when he's healthy and play for the Rams. At least one ESPN analyst thinks another team is going to swoop in and snap him up. We'll tell you who that analyst is and who that team is coming up next. Mason and Ireland, ESPN LA. All right, Mason in Ireland. Momo in for Mace. Bobcat coming up in 10 minutes.
Bobcat.
Lie of the day coming at 3:30. And then Jorge's game 3:45. So lots of stuff coming up.
You lie yet?
You think you got it?
Nope, not at all.
Okay.
Nope.
Jorge thinks he's got it.
No, I don't actually. Bergman does.
I do.
Okay.
I think
All right.
I got it.
Okay. So I think most Rams play the Chargers Saturday night. We'll have that game for you here on ESPN LA. That's a Charger home game, right, Bergman?
Yes.
Okay. So I think a lot of Ram fans think that because he hasn't signed with another team yet, Odell Beckham Jr. is just going to, as soon as his knee gets better, going to sign with the Rams, and he's going to line up opposite Allen Robinson and Cooper Kupp, and it's going to be like a repeat of last year.
Did they not learn from the whole Von Miller thing?
Okay. I'm glad you brought that up. Because a lot of people are assuming that that's a done deal. But Ryan Clark, who's on ESPN every day, says you're not paying attention if you think OBJ to the Rams is a done deal. As a matter of fact, he says if he ran the Cowboys, he would snap them up right now. Here's Ryan Clark.
That's exactly what the Los Angeles Rams did. They were already a contending team. When Odell Beckham Jr. was on the market, they didn't necessarily need him, obviously having Cooper Kupp, who eventually became the Triple Crown winner. But look what Odell Beckham Jr. was to that team in the playoffs. Look at how he started the Super Bowl. This was a guy who Jalen Ramsey told me when he was talking to him, he felt was going to go out and win the MVP. And so if Odell Beckham Jr. is healthy, a guy that can get back around game 8, game 10, and you're the Dallas Cowboys and you're contending, I do believe this is a signing that you make, because this is a signing that can make you better, especially when you lose guys like Amari Cooper and Cedric Wilson in free agency and also by trading them.
All right, so he thinks Cowboys and Beckham are a big match. Do you believe, Ramona, OBJ will be on the Rams second half of this year?
Nope. I think Allen Robinson is going to be the guy. And OBJ was great, but they're not going to pay him more than the minimum. And I think, like, as much as he is probably really grateful to the Rams, unless they're going to come with a bigger offer, he's got to go where the money is now.
Bergman, you think OBJ's on the Rams late in the season?
I do think so, but
Really?
I mean, yeah, all of his he got paid in Bitcoin last year. You know that.
It
So
didn't
anything
go
he
well.
gets, yeah, they all dropped. So anything he gets now is just
Didn't I
gravy.
tell you that? And I'm just, I don't know.
No,
feel
I know,
we
it
did
was
a bunch of
ridiculous
shows where
when
I was like, it's a Ponzi scheme. Get out now.
Well, I mean, it is. Mason loves it still
I
for
know.
whatever reason. But I do think that he's going to be on that. Or the only other team I think he goes to is the Bills, because Von Miller's pushing for him hard.
Yeah, and Buffalo might pay him. And Buffalo is trying to get, they've been to the Super Bowl a bunch of times, but they've never won it. Buffalo is in the mode the Rams were in last
That's
year.
right.
Do whatever it takes.
Yeah, if they got to bid another $1 million more than the Rams, they will. I mean, he's got to go to the highest bidder at this stage in his career. I know he's made a lot of money, but this is the point in your career, especially with the injuries he's had. He's got to get paid.
And for that reason, I don't know if I'd give him a long-term contract. I mean, he's been hurt 3 times.
Yeah.
And I think he's a great player when he's healthy. And I'm not sure the Rams need him. By the way, do you guys think the Rams or the Chargers finish with a better record this year?
Rams.
Have you seen the Chargers schedule?
Yes, I know, but it's the Chargers.
What's wrong with that?
No,
Same thing as the Clippers.
Yeah, it's like until they win, I won't pick them.
I mean, they have Khalil Mack now.
I
I mean,
They have Justin Herbert. That's all you need to know.
Yeah,
You can
I'm
name
very
all the
amazing.
guys.
I'm
Nothing
very
changes.
I'm very high on them.
I know.
Greg,
should
they
be.
missed.
You're a Raider fan, John.
Well, I know we're going to talk about them later, but I just think one reason I think the Rams will have a better record is the Rams don't have to play 2 games against the Chiefs, 2 games against the Broncos, 2 games against the Raiders, who I think for whatever reason I think the Raiders are in the Chargers' heads. I mean,
what that game last year?
Well, first of all, any game that gets played, regardless of if it's in Vegas or if it's at SoFi, is a Raider home game.
Might be more Raider fans at SoFi than there are in Vegas.
Right. And so for that reason, I think that that the Raiders are going to finish with a better record and I would pick the Rams to answer my own question. But I mean, I think that is a weird thing. All right, so this was a story I saw and I was surprised didn't get more attention. Did you guys see the story that a group of deep-pocketed USC donors and diehard fans are proceeding with their own name, image, and likeness operation against the school's wishes. Isn't this like going back to the days of when money handshakes and like the alumni giving you a new... This is blue chips, isn't it? If the alumni operate and all the rich USC people operate independently of the school, and it's legal because NIL is legal now, is there anything USC can do to stop it?
No. That's it. There's nothing they can do. This is what college sports is now. And it's going to take 3 or 4 or 5 years to kind of shake out whatever the new landscape is going to be with the NIL stuff and with the transfer portal. I mean, you can just transfer anytime you want now, and there's no repercussions. It's the Wild West now. There's no use fighting it. The walls have come down.
And I'm not sure Mike Bone the athletic director at USC is playing this right. He's pretending that this story doesn't even exist. He just issued a blanket statement. Look, we want everybody to, here's what he said. USC is not aware of a formal donor-created NIL collective. We ask any donors who would like to support USC's athletes through NIL to please work with Boulevard, that's the company they created, so that all activities are conducted in compliance with state laws and NCAA rules. That's
wink,
a guy,
wink, nod, nudge,
that's
nudge.
a guy covering his ass.
Yeah.
That's a guy like at the end of Casablanca. I am shocked gambling is going on in this institution. Shocked. I'm shocked an NIL has been created by our rich donors and fans. The LA Times just wrote a front page story about it, Mike. Get your head out of the sand. I think this is the new world.
Yeah.
If I was Mike Bone, I would work with with Student Body Right, this group that they're coming up with. I would say, okay, let's work together and get all the great players we can get. Okay. Why run away from them?
So, I actually really like Clipper Darrell. Okay, I like him. He's a nice guy. I see him out at LA Live all the time. I think he's passionate.
Yeah, I got a good relationship with him too.
Right, me too. Okay, so this is not a shot at Clipper Darrell. However, he calls himself Clipper Darrell, but he has no official affiliation with the Clippers. When he wants to organize a parade outside of Crypto.com Arena, it's not done with the team. That's like his social media and all that. And there's the Clippers kind of let him buy the season seats. They let him sit up there and wear the two-colored shirt and do all that stuff. But they don't invite him to any of their team functions. They don't invite him to say, all right, hey, we're having a community event. You're our mascot. He's an unofficial mascot.
Okay.
This is his choice. You just got to treat it like that. You just got to, okay.
Why not embrace these people?
No, they should embrace him, but, okay. Okay.
If I'm Mike Bone, I'm going to say we got the number one quarterback in the country is playing at Modern Day.
Yeah.
He wants to go to Alabama. Let's come up with a way to keep him here.
So, I'll tell you why. Back in the day before Vegas Summer League was a thing, I used to go, and it used to just be like a bunch of guys in a gym. It wasn't like the event it is now.
Yeah.
And it was amazing access. Like only like the real reporters knew that you should always go to Summer League. You should always go to Team USA. Now everybody goes, and it's not that productive anymore.
Right.
But anyway, Clipper Darrell would go to Summer League. He was great. He would taunt the other team from the crowd.
Right.
Do like your mama chants or do that's all right. But I don't want to say it on the air, but like funny chants.
Right.
That like are funny in the high school gym or the AAU gym, but if he was an official mascot or representative of the Clippers, you wouldn't want him doing.
But Momo, there's no rules now. I mean, you're worried about this NIL collective violating rules. There are no rules. It's the Wild West.
Yeah, but there's certain things optically look bad. Like let's say
I don't care how it looks.
Okay,
I want the player.
Let me give you a scenario.
Okay.
Let's say the Student Body Right group decides that the best way to get to recruit people is to provide escorts. Does USC want to be associated with that?
Well, whether they want to be or not, it's been going on for 100 years.
They need deniability.
Yeah.
Rick Pitino will do it.
That's why you can't
and
have...
Rick Pitino would do it. Thank
right?
you.
Like, you can't sanction everything that a fan group is going to do. If you have an official affiliation, now it's on you.
Right.
Always good to have a little distance.
All right. Well, it appears that's the way it's going because Mike Bone is like not even acknowledging, even though there's this huge article that explains exactly what they're doing.
I guarantee
I am not aware of any group that's out there. I know nothing. Nothing. Thanks, Mike. Way to have your ear to the pulse of what's happening at USC.
Just talk louder. You can't hear anything.
You're right. Exactly. It's Sergeant Schultz over there. I don't know what they're doing. All right, coming up next, Bobcat. We'll get Bergman in here, and he'll throw a bunch of stuff at us. But first, let me tell you about ZipRecruiter. If
got hacked. So the new one is corporate_Greg. Follow now, follow often.
Corporate Greg.
But now it is time for that Bobcat.
Bobcat.
It's time for Bobcat.
Bobcat.
Bobcat time. Take it away, Corporate Greg.
Corporate Greg.
Thanks, Chris and Amanda. All right, so on August 24th, or 8/24, Kobe Day, it's the annual Lakers night at Dodger Stadium. They're going to give away reversible jerseys with the Dodgers 22 for Kershaw on one side, and then if you flip it inside out, you get a Lakers jersey with 32 for Magic Johnson. What do you think of this promotion?
Well, were they unable to get Kobe?
I have no idea what the reasoning for it being Magic is.
Well, Magic's a Dodger owner.
You're right.
So I could see it, but it seems on that particular day
should be. I thought
that
so
there
too.
should be some recognition of Kobe Bryant, right?
Right. But it's Kershaw and Magic.
I mean, not that there's anything wrong with those two.
No, those are two pretty good ones.
But Roman, isn't that weird that on 8/24 you'd have no maybe I know Vanessa can be protective of Kobe's estate.
It's also kind of weird to always go to her on stuff all the time, you know?
Well, and they're in the middle of that trial right now.
It's kind of a bad time. Yeah. You're right. It should be a Kobe thing, but it will be eventually, probably. It's kind of cool, though. Reversible Dodgers-Lakers jerseys.
I like it. I want to go to that game and get it. That's a pretty cool one. On the 24th, that's a really good question. I probably should have looked at that before. So let me just look it up really quickly. Sorry.
Take a guess. Probably the Pirates or something.
It's probably
Padres.
Like Brewers. Brewers. Yeah, Brewers. That's fine.
Okay.
Cool. Fun. All right. Let's move on.
Bobcat.
So I was walking Lola this morning. That's my dog. And there was a car parked with a ticket on it. The car was close to the curb, in line with all the other cars. Everything was fine. The only problem was that it was facing the opposite way. So why did this person get a ticket? Because the aesthetic was off? I mean, does it really matter if you're parked in a neighborhood with no traffic around you that you're parked the wrong way?
Well, did it like sometimes it says like you can't park there for street sweeping?
No, everything was fine. Everything was fine. It was a normal day. It was just a regular. It wasn't street sweeping that day. It was just parked the opposite way.
I didn't know that was illegal.
Yeah, it's definitely illegal.
Why?
I don't know why, but it is.
No, but
is it a one-way street?
No, regular.
Why is it illegal, Ramona?
I don't know, but it is. I don't know.
That's not an answer.
I'm trying to Google this right now.
Is it illegal to park the wrong way on a street?
Huh.
So I asked Amanda about this,
Actually,
and she
it's
said,
not. No, Google says it's not.
So
Google says that.
Yeah, but it had a ticket there. It was the only car there that had a ticket on it, and it was parked the wrong way.
More than 18 inches from the curb?
No, it was perfectly in line with the curb. Everything was fine.
So was it hood to hood, kind of? Like the hood facing each other?
No. So the hood.
This happened to me once. I was parked somewhere, and I had a ticket on my car, and none of the other cars had any tickets. I knew I put money in the meter. I knew that it hadn't expired. I still had time on it. And it was a ticket thing, and I couldn't figure out why in the world they wrote me a ticket, and I didn't read it. And I looked later, my registration was like a month old.
Okay,
and that's what I got the ticket for.
So it was trunk to trunk
story.
for you.
Here's a Google story. I just Googled this very quickly.
Yeah.
Full disclosure.
Yeah.
The answer is simply no. You can't park on the park facing the wrong way. This is from Sergeant Brian Pennings of the California Highway Patrol. The vehicle code specifically says both right side tires of your vehicle must be within 18 inches of the curb. It would be physically impossible for you to comply with this law parking on the wrong side of the road.
That's a ridiculous law. Like, what does it matter?
But there it is. But that's your answer.
I understand that's what happened, but why is that a rule? Why does that matter in any sense?
Well, it doesn't matter that it doesn't matter because the rule's the rule. That's
the
why
answer is you can't.
You can't do it.
But it's such garbage, though.
The
like,
right side of your car has to be within 18 inches of the curb. This guy wasn't within 6 feet of the curb.
It's a stupid law.
Fine and a ticket.
You know what?
Throw the book at him.
I have the answer for you.
Okay.
Because. Because
of the wonderful things she does.
That is brilliant. That's a good answer.
God, they just want money.
I got to get these answers ready for my 3-year-old soon.
All right, Jorge, what's your turn?
All right, have you guys ever been hypnotized? I sent you guys a video of Klay Thompson being hypnotized, and he was basically treated like a puppet.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever done it, or would you try it?
Hell no.
Me too.
I have too many frickin' secrets.
Do you really?
I do not.
John!
I do
I
not
know these secrets.
I do not trust myself of what will come out of my head if the guy hypnotizes me and starts asking me weird questions.
Carlo, you have a week to get a hypnotizer guy in.
Yeah,
here?
I wouldn't do it. I think to be hypnotized, you have to be willing. Like, they can't hypnotize you if you don't let them.
Right. You have to be.
Have you ever been hypnotized?
No, and I never want to be.
Yeah, I'm scared what I'll say.
Me too. I'm still not over my bad edible experience. I had a bad edible once, okay? And
did you get it from Mason?
No, but from the app he told me about.
Okay.
And I will ease. Yeah, it was after my back surgery, and I didn't want to do any pain pills, and so I did the edible thing, and I got a bad one. And
man, I've gotten edibles from Clinton, Mason, Kaplan. Guy on the street. I've had really I've had really good luck with them.
Yeah. Well, just don't press your luck because
I always cut them. I always take less than what they tell me to take.
That wasn't the problem. It was like spoiled or something. Something was off. It tasted off. It tasted weird. It was like a nighttime thing. And
here's when I started to feel
like a turn, like wine that turned.
Here's when I started to feel uneasy about it. So I'm not a weed guy. Never have been. Neither is Lisa, my wife. Like Mason's a huge weed guy. So I said to Mason. I said, hey, I've got to get off Ambien. I'm taking too much Ambien. He goes, all right, here's what you do. You go to this place called MedMen, and from the outside, it looks like a pharmacy.
Yeah.
And he goes, and you walk in and you just go in and say, hey, I need edibles to help me sleep, and see what they say. So right by where I get acupuncture, there is a MedMen. So I park my car outside, and I walk in. There's two really shady-looking dudes in there. And I explain my problem, and the guy, I think the guy was stoned who helped me, and he goes, hey, man, this will knock you out for sure. I go, okay. I go, I'll take that, and he gives it to me, and I give him my credit card. He goes, cash only, dude. And I went, really? He goes, yeah. I go, can I write you a check? No. I had cash. I was lucky, so I paid for it in cash, and I walked out, and I felt so like I didn't. I
illicit.
No. I go, I just bought edibles from a stoner, and he made me pay in cash.
Yeah.
Then I came back and I made Clinton give me his because I didn't trust.
He probably
the ones
bought
I
it from the same guy, but
right.
at least it came.
But at least
you have to pay cash in there. Yeah. They usually have ATMs in there, so you can pay in cash.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Is that always?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because they just deal in cash.
Yeah,
they don't trust credit cards?
I guess not. Maybe you have to pay for that stuff.
I mean, I had my ID and everything.
It's about taxes, I think.
Yeah, taxes and what you have to use for. What
which you have to declare.
The other thing my buddy Patrick told me is that you can't order edibles out of state. You have to order them from California. Like, I can't order.
Sounds right.
I can't go online and order them from Oregon and have them shipped to me.
That's because it's not federally legal.
Yeah. So that's.
So the point is, I wouldn't be hypnotized because I had a bad experience with that, and I know what it feels like to be totally out of control and feel
I'm afraid
way like something really. You took something really bad, and I don't ever want that feeling.
It's not
again.
even my secrets that I'm worried about. People always tell me stuff. Mason's got like 6 things that I'm not allowed to tell anybody.
Oh, right.
Well, the biggest,
just tell us one.
The biggest one for years was that he was gay.
Yeah,
and I didn't even tell Lisa. For like years.
Wow, you held on to that one because usually you tell everything.
Right. But unless somebody tells me this is in the, if you say it's in the vault or under the hat, I never tell.
Will Schnapps get you to get rid of it, like in Seinfeld?
Always blab. No,
I buy gossip. Gossip. Okay. Oh yeah, I have a good vault, and I'm afraid under hypnotism.
Yeah,
it would all come out.
God, like we really need to get a hypnotist.
I would say
here.
something, and you guys would all go, "What?" And then that'd be the end of me.
Wow. Oh man, let's go get some whiskey after the show.
Yeah, well, whiskey won't do it. You'd have to hypnotize me. Yeah. Whiskey, I'm a happy guy when I drink too much.
You don't just give up little secrets here and there.
No, you get a I love you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get one of those.
How do we get it out of him, Momo? How do we get the secrets out of him?
I can probably do it.
I'm sure you could. If anybody at the station could do it, it would be you.
But then I wouldn't tell you.
No, see, then what's the point?
Yeah. Bobcat.
Hey, happy birthday, Julio Diaz, by the way.
Oh, hey.
Happy birthday, Julio.
Feliz cumpleaños.
How old is he, 22?
25, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
God.
So good.
And he's the ace. He's the ace right now.
Yeah.
All right, so Keith Hernandez on the Mets broadcast the other night said that he is asking SNY, the station that plays the Mets games, to take him off of Phillies games because he doesn't like watching them play. He said, as far as fundamentally and defensively, the Phillies have always just not been up to it. John, this would be like you asking me taking off of the Clippers games And would you ever say anything like that on a broadcast?
No, never. When you get one of these jobs, and Keith Hernandez has a little more rope because he's a former major leaguer and a really good one. But the way I look at it is there's 30 NBA play-by-play jobs. That's it. 30 radio play-by-play jobs. And I'm lucky enough to have one of them. I told my boss, Tim Harris, once, my goal is to stay off of your call sheet. I don't want you hearing about me doing anything that's going to take any of your time. And that would do that, Greg. If I approached him and said, look, I think the Clippers are a bunch of bozos and I don't want to work the Clipper games. First of all, he would say, well, that's part of your job. Yep. Shut up and work. And second of all, he would say, why do I need this drama?
No.
Why I can get somebody who will make my life easier, not harder. So Keith Hernandez is making his boss's life harder by asking not to work the Phillies.
And the Phillies are really good right now, too. They've won 40 of their last 50 or something crazy.
One of the things when I got the job, Billy Mack and I started in the same year. And Tim said to us, he goes, look, and Tim's the COO of the team. He goes, I got a lot on my plate. Try and stay off of it. And we went, got it. And we've both been pretty good about that. Yeah. We don't bug them unless we absolutely have to.
You are one of the people that I've learned from on this, and I try to remind myself of this anytime I get asked to do some assignment I don't want to do, or get up early to do the Get Up show at 4 in the morning or whatever. It is like we have the greatest jobs, and the second you don't want to do this job anymore, there'll be 500 people, 5,000 people applying for it.
Yeah.
So never lose your joy and appreciation for your job.
Yeah, I'm very thankful that I get to sit in Chick Hearn's chair.
Yeah,
I'm going to enjoy it for as long as they'll have me. It's not. I'm not always going to have that opportunity. So while I'm in it, I want to make sure that I respect that and not make waves. And by the way, it's kind of disrespectful to the Phillies.
Yeah. Just a little bit.
So you don't. You were a Cardinal and you were a Met and you don't like the Phillies. We get it. But Jeannie Buss said once, one of the reasons why they didn't sue the league when they blocked the Chris Paul trade, she said, we could have sued him and made a big deal, but she goes, we're partners with those teams.
Yeah.
Where I always try and remember that the way I treat other teams and other broadcasters is the way I want to be treated. And the minute I start treating them lousy, then it's probably going to come back on me. So I try to always remember that.
Bobcat.
All right, so somebody tell IC Cool says that federal law banks can't work with weed dispensaries.
Yeah, that my friend Patrick, who I was talking about earlier, just sent him. He said banks can't legally handle the money on credit cards because of the federal laws.
Right.
So
that was an episode of Billions this last year.
Was it?
Yeah, that was what. Last 2 seasons ago.
Got it. All right, so we got just enough time for a kick it off the planet. So real fast, delivery or Uber.
Ooh.
You can never Uber again. It never existed. That includes Lyft. Or you can never get any type of delivery ever, and it never existed.
Any type of delivery, like we're not just talking Postmates?
Does that include
Postmates is all of it.
Does it include Amazon Prime?
Yes. There's no such thing
as
delivery.
Live with that.
Delivery doesn't exist.
I can't live without Amazon Prime, so Uber's dead.
Me too.
Wow.
Yeah.
I want the Uber. I need to be able to
I use it a lot.
Home. Yeah, I need to
By the way,
home
I've been
after
saying
drinking.
for years that I very rarely ever have a problem with Uber. My wife has had problems with it before. Last week I had my first one. We ordered one, and the guy didn't speak English and couldn't find my house, and we had to cancel. He said we should cancel. I can't find it, and so we ended up driving. And but that's the first time I've ever had a problem. I've had good luck with Uber.
Yeah,
but Greg, in that scenario,
because of Amazon.
Yeah, I get something from Amazon Prime 4 or 5 times a week.
Yeah. Oh, me too. It's like every day.
Yeah.
Bobcat.
I know all the drivers in my neighborhood.
All right, is that it?
Yep, that's it. Gotta go to break.
Okay, so coming up next, we have 3 people on this show today. 3 people who support the greatness of the Raiders.
Raiders.
Someone on ESPN has predicted the Raiders are going to the Super Bowl.
That's all I need to hear.
We'll tell you who it is next. Mason in Ireland, ESPN LA.
Saturday, 6 p.m. at the Buffalo Wild Wings Howard Hughes Center. 6801 Center Drive, right off the 405. Come and watch the Battle for L.A. with Coors Light drafts and bucket specials and tons of great deals on bar food and, of course, wings. Stay and hang for the game and win great prizes from 710 ESPN. It's all happening this Saturday, 6 p.m. at Buffalo Wild Wings in the Howard Hughes Center. See you there.
My cousin spent that.
ESPN 710, Los Angeles Sports.
And it is the biggest show on the radio. Mason and Ireland is off for your Friday afternoon.
Yeah, man! We are ballers. That's exactly right. We are ballers.
It is time for Bill Shaken's favorite radio show. If you don't know who Bill Shaken is, don't worry, you're not alone. Meanwhile, my favorite, Momo, Ramona Shelburne, is in for Mace today, whose summertime days off continue. John Ireland is here, Johnny I, and the fun and frivolity for a Friday afternoon will ensue.
My phone's waterproof. I'll do it this weekend in the pool.
Your phone is... So wait,
Yeah.
you're going to take...
I'm going to take the phone into the pool.
You're an idiot.
I'm going to hit the record button.
Okay.
I'll punch myself in the stomach.
Issue with this,
Your phone, by the way, is water resistant.
Let's get to it. Mason and Ireland, your Friday right now.
It is Friday. Thank God.
So you think it's a bad idea to take the pool and go in the pool with the phone?
If you like your phone.
I mean,
It's
do.
not going to work
My
when you
world
get
is
out.
in it.
Are you going to punch yourself through?
Yeah, I'm going to punch myself in the stomach.
Yeah,
try
I
and make
didn't
myself
understand.
cry.
I didn't understand any of that. And despite what Chris Morales says, I still like Bill Shaken at the LA
Me
Times,
too.
even though he thinks no one listens to sports talk radio in Los Angeles.
Chris is having fun there. Chris on those intros.
Well, it was kind of ridiculous. But anyway, someone said to me, what about this, John? If I paid you $100 to be hypnotized, would you do it?
No.
Well, you do anything for $100.
Yeah, but I don't trust myself hypnotized.
Okay, well, how,
Greg, what do I always say? I would do anything for money that doesn't ruin my health or threaten my career.
So this would threaten your career?
Oh, hell yeah.
I'd do it for 10 grand.
You do it for
10 grand.
You get hypnotized?
That's my money. That's my.
All right.
Yeah.
number.
What is your number?
I'll do it for 10
10
grand.
grand.
Yeah.
10 grand.
I'll do it for 10
I wouldn't
grand.
do it for 1,000, but
Yeah.
10 grand I would
10
do it.
grand. I'm with Momo.
Yeah.
So is it
You guys
good
come
enough?
up. Greg, you're in management here. You come up with $20K, and Mamrona and I will do it together
Yeah,
on the air.
I'll do it. Oh, not on the
that'd
air.
be so much fun.
I need 25K.
Oh, wow, that takes away from the
Wait
fun.
a minute, if he's coming up with
What, you
10
think the listeners,
grand,
these
okay.
loyal listeners that Bill Shaken doesn't like,
Yeah,
thinks that... But no, so
all right.
but is it good enough for 10 grand? Like, is 10 grand? Is it that good enough information that 10 grand is worth?
I don't know. It depends what I cough up.
I think it
I don't know.
probably
I
If
mean,
you cough up everything,
I can't tell you what I'm going to say
No,
when
I
I'm
know. I
under
know.
hypnosis.
Oh, I think you have an idea.
yeah, you have an idea. You
'Cause
know
you
what's in
know
your
what you're
brain.
worried about.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Whisper it
there
to me
more,
right now.
there are more other people's secrets than mine.
I know.
Oh, even better.
But I would feel horrible revealing them because
Well,
I promised him I wouldn't.
But it's under hypnosis.
What if you just told me during the break?
Oh, can you do that?
It would. I'll tell you this. It would be the end of Mason and Ireland.
Oh, wow.
What?
Yeah.
If you told it in a break, it'd be the end?
Yeah.
In a break?
No. If I told it under hypnosis.
Oh, okay.
No, I'll tell you in the break why.
Okay.
But it would be the end.
Wow.
Mason has 3 or 4 things that if I ever let him out, that's it. We're done.
This is the end.
Oh, no, God, you can't do this to me. This is so unfair.
And I'll never tell you.
You'll never tell me. Even if I went in the break, I wouldn't be able to hear.
No, you can't come in during the break. I'm only telling Ramona.
I believe you.
What?
Because you probably know a couple of them.
I might.
Yeah.
I might. You know what's funny is
how can you? This is so cruel. This is the meanest thing
Well,
either of you have ever done to me.
None of them would have been bigger than the gay thing. The gay thing for years tormented Mason. And I kept telling him, you got to come out. It'll be great. And
I know.
Like,
I go,
nope, not doing it.
Ellen came out when I was in high school. This is a long time later.
I was prepared. If anybody ever tried to blow him up on the air, I was prepared to take the grenade.
How would you have done it?
Okay, so if somebody calls and like we're just taking calls, and somebody would have called and said, Mason, I know you're gay and you're a phony, and everybody knows you're gay, and I can't believe you go in the air and do it.
Yeah.
I would have said, okay, this is something that's come up before. One of us is gay, but it's not Mason. It's me. And I'm not embarrassed to tell you, and now that you've aggressively confronted us with this, now you know, and if you want to make fun of me for it, go ahead.
Wow.
That's what I would have done.
Okay.
But it never came up that way. No. Nobody ever threatened to out him.
I remember for years.
Remember how nervous he was?
Yeah, I did a podcast.
That's the
with him.
first time he ever did it. That was the trial run.
Yeah, it was a trial run. And then one day he just did it. I think Israel Gutierrez came out, and then it sort of emboldened him to speak his truth, and he just did it.
Yeah. The weirdest thing about that is, and I told this story recently on the air, is that so when he started to feel comfortable to talk about it, one of the first times he talked about it, he goes, okay, those of you who've been listening know this, but in case you don't, I'm one of the gays.
Yeah.
I'm one of those guys.
I remember that.
And a friend of mine who's gay immediately texts me and says, tell Mason not to say that. That's offensive to us. I go,
oh, God.
He's one of you. He goes, doesn't matter, offensive. I'm going,
man.
That's where you're coming down on it? Yeah,
no, the best ever was, first you're gay, now you're gray.
Yeah.
That was
that was my political ad.
Yeah.
So we had it was during an election, and we were supposed to come up with attack ads on the other guy.
Excellent.
And Jorge, see if you can find my attack.
These
ad.
are so good.
And so what my attack ad was basically that you can't trust Mason to be honest, because he wasn't honest about being gay. He wasn't honest about going gray. He dyed his hair for a lot of years and blah, blah, blah. And he thought those were funny. He thought that was great. Okay. Jorge, before you go, play the Raider music. This is very encouraging to Bergman, Ramona, and me. Now, if you listen to this station, you know that we, and along with Kirk Morrison, we are Raider fans. There are many of us. We get attacked for it. We are ridiculed.
There are many of us.
No, at the station.
Oh.
I think there's 4. I think it's me, you,
yeah,
Bergman, and Kirk Morrison.
Yeah.
Am I leaving anybody out, Greg?
Not that I can think of off the top. Well, Alan Sleewa now.
Everybody else.
Convert him?
Well, but Sleewa just roots for whoever is the Charger playing because he's mad at the Spanos.
Sure, but he's going to go in full Raider gear to the first Raiders Charger game.
Yeah. Okay, so.
He would. He totally would.
I have some very encouraging words from the great Diana Rossini.
Yes.
ESPN analyst on Get Up. 2 days ago, Diana said this, quote, I have the Vegas Raiders going to the Super Bowl this year. I think Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, I think they're going to be able to come up with something real good with Josh McDaniels. Look, the last time the Raiders were able to go far, they had a top defense. Their defense needs to be top 5 in order to go all the way, but I think that could happen. I think they have a real good chance. How? I'm just saying. Is she, Greg, I'll start with you. Is Diana overrating the Raiders, in your opinion?
No, absolutely not.
You think they have a legitimate Super Bowl chance? 17 games this year, what's their record?
17 games this year, I think they go 13-4.
Whoa! In that division?
Wow. In that division, yes. I think they're better than the other teams. I also think that the Chiefs are going to fall off a little bit without Tyreek Hill, because that was a huge, huge part of that offense. And the fact that Patrick Mahomes was able to get away, he would always find Tyreek Hill.
Right.
Now he doesn't
They
have
normally
that
beat
anymore.
the Chiefs once a year.
Yeah,
but,
they usually do, and they usually split with the Chargers. But I think that they have such a good team this year. I think their offensive line has gotten better. Their defense with Chandler Jones and Max Crosby on the ends.
That's true.
All
right, Momo,
really good.
Is Diana Rossini overrating our Raiders?
You can never overrate the Raiders.
All right, 17 games this year. What's their record?
12-5.
Right around the same.
You guys are high on the Raiders.
12-5.
That's awesome.
That's good.
They have to be this year, though. Otherwise, Derek Carr is done.
All right, the two of you are only wrong about one thing. The Raiders' record this year, like it is every year, 17-0.
I totally missed that. I totally should have done it, and I forgot about it.
17-0 again. Another
Love
one.
it. Just play the music. Don't you just feel it? How could you hear this music and
By the
not
way,
be a Raider fan?
I actually underestimated. The Raiders already won the Hall of Fame game. They're going to win tomorrow night.
Yes.
So we count the 3 preseasons plus the 3 playoff games, including the Super Bowl. 23-0.
Never lost.
Let's go. Let's go.
23-0 for the Raiders.
Where's that LeVar Ball sound? Never lost.
Never lost. Man, how great would it be if the Raiders won? You know how
I bet
bitter,
LeVar's
you
a
know
Raider
how
fan.
bitter everybody would be around here?
Yes.
Everybody would be so
The
bent.
autumn wind
Listen to
is
this. Turn this up.
blustering in from sea.
Look, I got goosebumps.
With a rollicking
It's
song
not even
he
cold in
sweeps
here.
along,
Goosebumps
swaggering
Don't ruin the bit.
boisterously.
Oh, God, it's so
Never lost.
Never lost.
I'm undefeated. Never lost.
Yes. LeVar is definitely a Raider fan, don't you think?
God, I wish Mason was
absolutely.
here. He would literally have thrown up over this.
You'd be like, can we turn this off now? You can't have something that can
Can't.
vibrate
Jorge
in your
got me to
pants
do-
pocket.
When I won the man,
Why you gotta play that, Jorge?
I have a feeling that won't be the first time we hear that.
Jorge, when you got me to do the acceptance speech for the Mandy Award, right?
Yeah.
I was like 2 weeks postpartum, super hormonal and weird. And I was like, okay, I don't look like I should be in public right now, but I have to do a speech that they're going to play in front of hundreds or maybe thousands of people.
Yeah.
What should I do? I grabbed a Raider jersey and leaned
Put
in.
it on, and
That
then
a
you
girl.
started going,
That a girl.
Yeah.
All right, coming up next. If someone offered you $10 million
You have to say,
for an endorsement,
$1 million.
for an endorsement, so you're just doing ads for somebody for $10 million.
Okay.
Any way you turn that down, $10 million, somebody you know
Oh.
did just that. I'll tell you who it is coming up next. Lie of the day at the bottom of the hour. Game of games before we're through. Mason and Ireland. Momo in for Mace. ESPN LA.
Sedano and Cap for your afternoon drive on 710 ESPN.
Cap, you ever done salsa? Look at me. Do I look like the kind of guy that does salsa or don't I?
No.
You can't even say
for
it.
real?
No, Cap. You remember that line in Bull Durham with Max
Laura won, Beto won, Jacob won, Jorge won, Funch won, Pepe won, Momo won. Literally. Anybody's got a chance, and today it's Jorge's game, and Jacob Amirani is supposed to be here. I haven't seen Jacob yet. But
he should be coming up any moment now.
All right, Bergman.
Yes.
Who's the most famous person to come out of your high school?
A lot of famous people came out of my high
Who's
school.
Who's at the top of the list?
Well, Jim Rome came out of there.
Okay.
Elizabeth Berkley came out of there.
Oh.
Topanga.
Which high school?
Calabasas High School.
Oh, yeah.
It was before
Jim
it was
Rome
the Kardashians, just to be clear.
Jim Rome is bigger than Elizabeth Berkley. Not to shade the star of Showgirls.
Wonderful movie.
One time Mason did.
I know.
Mason said.
Ricky Schroeder.
I heard about this.
He's great. So one time Mason said, like, he made a comment like that performance in that movie was as bad as Elizabeth Berkley was in Showgirls, and someone forwarded it to her, and she got mad and tweeted like, "I will not be demeaned by middle-aged talk show hosts who don't respect my career." And I thought Mason would like apologize immediately. He went the other way.
Yeah. She related to Bill Shaken?
He goes, "I've been thinking." And Mason's like, I watched it again, and it's still the worst performance in a movie. Jorge, who's the most famous person to come out of your high school?
I just looked it up, and I have Tom House from the Atlanta Braves and Darryl Lewis, who played for the...
Tom House is now a very famous pitching coach. I think he works out of USC.
The Menendez brothers went to my high
school. Oh, that's big.
Yeah.
That is big.
That was
Mine is probably Mark McGrath, the lead singer from Sugar Ray.
Yeah.
Leslie Mann, the actress.
Leslie Mann is huge.
Judge Apatow's wife.
I would go Leslie Mann there.
Bill McDonald.
Oh, of course.
And
Billy
me.
Mack.
Those are the four. Momo, the answer for you might be you.
It's definitely not me, but according to that very unscientific Facebook poll that that you guys helped me win, I am.
Yeah. Go to El Camino?
Yeah, I went to El Camino Real in Woodland Hills. Okay, we're now the Royals. We used to be the Conquistadors, but that was
but it's
not
politically incorrect. But did not Tiffany Haddish go to
and
your
she
high
went
school?
to the school at the same time I was there.
Do you remember her?
I remember her now, okay, but at the time I didn't. I think she was a grade younger than me.
Did you have a lot of black kids in your school?
Yeah.
Okay, because we didn't.
Yeah.
I was Lily White, Corona Del Mar. We had 2.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
We did, but she was the grade below me, so that sometimes you don't know people who are not your grade. Right. Like it was a big school too. She was also the mascot in the band. I didn't know that until she told me.
Okay.
She DM'd me. Can I tell you she DM'd me
when that contest was going on?
In that stupid Twitter thing, she and I both tweeted about it.
Wow.
And I won because I think I just tried harder.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I think if she would have put the full force,
we put the full power of ESPN LA behind you. And if Bill Shaken's right and no one listens to sports radio, you never would have won.
Okay, but you know who I actually think is probably more famous now? Billy Zabka. Cobra Kai. Johnny Lawrence.
Oh, that's a cool one. I like that one.
I think Billy, but he doesn't
Does he like Billy or William?
William.
Yeah.
I tweeted him and I Instagram him in sort of a strange way because I'm like, dude, it's Billy Zabka went to El Camino, and he never responds to me.
You really should.
Okay.
You can get an appearance on the show.
The reason I brought this up is Tiffany Haddish.
Yes.
There is a story, this is in the New York Post, page 6, that Tiffany Haddish once turned down a $10 million offer just to post something. But she said it was against her brand. It would have made her feel like crap. So she told Cosmopolitan in a cover story published yesterday, quote, "I turned down $10 million because my soul is worth more than that to me. My spirit, my integrity, how I want to be able to look at myself in the mirror is all more important." Can I just say, to me, I don't think my soul is that important.
Wait, what was the ad?
She didn't say.
She didn't say.
But I'm trying to think of what. Greg, can you think of anything? $10 million that to get me to post. If it was something that would be career-ending, like it was anti-Semitic, if it was anti-gay, political, maybe I don't do it. But anything else, any product, like...
What if it was something from your hypnotist?
Oh.
Well, that would be career-ending. That I would have to move. But, Momo, $10 million... Some company comes to you and says, Ramona, post this on our behalf, we'll give you $10 million.
It depends on the company.
If it's not political,
Yeah, probably doing it.
I can't think of what did she turn down?
It had to be something with like something that's really bad.
The Live Tour?
I'll tell you, Live Tour. If the Live Tour offers me $10 million to come work for them,
Gone.
goodbye.
Gone.
See ya. I'll be the lead voice of the Live Tour. Plus, it'd be like $10 million a year.
Yeah, no, they can just keep giving you money.
Yeah, and then I would just tell David Faraday to do all my interviews for me. But $10 million, that's a ton of money to turn down.
Yeah.
$10 million.
I remember Max Kellerman told me, like, everybody always has a number. There's always a number. Well, you'll say yes.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with him.
Yeah.
I think that's true. One time, the most Mason and I ever got offered to do an endorsement, and we both turned it down, it was going to be, if I remember correctly, $2,000 a week to do live endorsements for a guy named, he was a penile enlargement clinic doctor, and we were just starting the show. And so
$2,000 a week.
$2,000 a week. So that if you it's an extra $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
And I thought about it, and I went, he's a doctor. I don't want to encourage people to do anything medically. And as it turns out, he botched a surgery and lost his medical license. So it was the best thing that we ever did. But the guy's ads were really funny. So the guy's ads would start with, it'd be like an announcer voice, like Morales.
Yeah.
And he would say, "These are actual testimonials." And you'd hear a girl's voice go, "He was the nicest guy I ever dated, but it was just too small." And then you hear another voice, a different disembodied voice say, "He played 4 games of racquetball and never took a shower." And then the announcer voice comes in and goes, "If these comments have happened to you, you need to contact Dr. So-and-so, penile enlargement clinic doctor."
Oh, my goodness.
And the guy goes, "We need actual testimonials from people. Will Mason or Ireland do it?" And we both turned it down. But we then took that ad.
Oh, yeah.
The clips from that ad. And our open for a year was for the morning show. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, and it's time for Mason and Ireland. Steve Mason. and you'd hear, "He played 4 games of racquetball and never took a shower." John Ireland. "He was the nicest guy I ever dated, but it was just too small."
Oh, my God.
Mason and Ireland now. Boom. And we made fun of it and did all this stuff. And then when the guy got sued for malpractice, and they had to pull the ads off the station, he lost his license, we stopped talking about it.
Well, you gave more free advertising than
this
real
was in
advertising.
like the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it didn't take. But that's the only time I've even remotely. But that was Ramona. That was $100,000.
Yeah.
This is $10 million.
$10 million.
She turned down $10 million.
So I have to turn down a lot of ads. I don't really do ads unless I have to. If it's like a live read that I don't get paid for the live reads and stuff, because because journalistically I don't want to be that girl. Right?
Right.
Like, it's different. It's different for
But what
me.
if it was for something you used? Like
for something
something
I
you
used,
used with the boys, like for a diaper genie.
Yeah, that'd probably be fine.
Yeah.
Like, if it's, there's just certain credibility things that you have to, like, think how that's going to look. I mean,
right.
I was trying to explain this to somebody today, actually. I was doing a podcast for somebody. And there's just something to be said for, like, a lot of times in my side of the business, you get to know people professionally, but they're people you cover. And it may feel like friendship or it may feel like a relationship, but it's a professional relationship. You cover them.
Right.
You have to always think how something's going to look in the light of day when it's not, right? You have to, it's how it's going to look in an objective way. You always have to be very aware of the optics. And so I think, like, that's why a lot of ads.
Yeah, probably smart. Oh, by the way, speaking of ads, we found my Steve Mason political ad that we were talking about earlier. Here it is. Here is my ad against Steve Mason. I'm John Ireland, and I approve this message.
In these difficult times, our leaders have never been under more pressure to make the right decisions. Steve Mason can't make any decisions. He couldn't decide when to come out as gay. He couldn't decide when to let his hair go gray. Just this week, he canceled his Grubhub order twice in the same night. He can't even decide what to have for dinner. When the pressure is on, do you really want Steve Mason making the important decisions.
Don't ever underestimate my stupidity.
Paid for by the Morning Show Super PAC with John Ireland.
Those were fun.
So good.
Those were the days. All right, coming up next, Lie of the Day. Open the phones, Bergman. 877-710-ESPN. 877-710-3776. If you can identify my Lie of the Day, we will give you 2 tickets to Jacob and Ronnie's suite at the LAFC game on Tuesday night. Jacob will be there. Mason will be there. Bergman will be there. Jorge will be there. A plethora of ESPN hosts, and Jacob will pick up the tab for everything you're eating and drinking in the suite, and we'll give you 2 tickets if you can correctly identify what I lied about today. That's coming up next, but first, let me tell you about the ESPN bundle. I've had this for over a year. It's the greatest. You get ESPN Plus, you get Disney Plus, you get access to every 30 for 30, unrivaled UFC access, live coverage of 35 PGA events, tons of college hoops. Get the ESPN Plus and Disney Plus bundled today. You can stream any of it anytime. Go to ESPNLABundle.com to learn more. Lie of the Day next, followed by Game of Games. Mason and Ireland. Momo in for Mace, ESPN LA.
song.
And it is a good song. But in the interest of fairness, all right, we played my attack ad against Mason.
Oh, this is good.
Mason did an attack ad against me, and we thought in the interest of equal time, like in all political elections,
you have to have equal time.
Yeah, this was Mason's attack ad about me.
John Ireland lives in an ivory tower in a gated community in Manhattan Beach. And now he wants to represent LA's working man. With a forehead like Jimmy Neutron and a country club membership, John Ireland has been the play-by-play announcer for the Lakers for 5 miserable seasons. He says it's a coincidence, but ask yourself, is John Ireland the reason the Lakers can't win a championship? Chris Morales calls John Ireland a pain in the ass. He's a terrible golfer, says Hall of Famer James Worthy. Even wife Lisa Ireland says, I'm voting for gay stoner Steve Mason. John Ireland, a risky gamble with an ivory tower big forehead loser with too many pocket squares.
I'm Steve Mason, and I approve this message.
Now, those are 2 pretty effective ads.
I gotta be honest.
Wouldn't you say?
Those are great. Like, you really studied the art of political ad making
Exactly.
and nailed it. The only thing is, I think at the end, there's a few too many name callings at the end of Mason's ad.
No, I liked them. I thought it was effective. You want to attack on those ads.
But, you want to say, he's not one of us. He says he understands your problems.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's too stoned to understand your problems.
He also missed the callback to, are you better off 4 years ago than you are today? Are you better off today? Like, he made it about the Lakers in the 5 years, but he could have done the, like, are you better off now?
Okay. It's time for Game of Games. It's time for Lie of the Day.
Yeah.
Do you think you've got the lie?
No,
you know.
not at
Greg,
all.
do you think
I'm
you've got
terrible
it?
at this game.
So I thought I had it, and then you told like 7 more stories,
right.
and I don't know
Yeah,
anymore.
I did that intentionally. Jorge, you think you got it?
I think I do, yeah.
Okay.
I also
Text
don't
me, Jorge,
listen.
if you think you've got it.
Like, I listen and it doesn't stick.
Right.
It just goes in there and then it's out and we're on to the next segment.
All right. If you can properly identify the lie of the day, you're going to Jacob Emrani's suite at the Bank of California Stadium on Tuesday night with everybody from ESPN LA. Mason's going, Jorge's going, Bergman's going. Jacob's going to join us next for Game of Games. First person who gets a crack at this is Richard in Thousand Oaks. Hi, Richard. You're on ESPN LA. What did I lie about, Richard?
I'm going to say you never went to MedMen.
Oh, good guess.
That's a good guess.
But I did. It's an incorrect guess. Jorge got it.
Yeah.
Jorge got it on his first guess, so it can't be that hard. Patrick in Pasadena is next.
Shots fired at Jorge. Jeez.
What did I say?
I guess that it can't be that hard. Come on.
Yeah, that's what I think. If you got it, it can't be that hard. Patrick?
He's just doubling down.
Yo.
What did I lie about?
I think the whole story about the doctor wanting to pay you guys.
No, that is a good guess, but we did get an opportunity to do ads for a penile enlargement clinic that would have paid us $2,000 a month, but we turned it down. We each turned it down. We didn't have the, I can't say, to take that offer.
If you were listening to the segment, you know the answer to that.
Raul in Orange County. Hey, Raul, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, what did I lie about, Raul?
I think it was, you said Lisa couldn't sleep and was up at 1:30 in the morning, so you told her to just drive over to Utah.
No, that's
that
all
hour.
true, Raul. Good guess.
Too, yeah.
All right, so 3 guesses. Nobody's got it yet, so here's a hint. It had to do with a story that Bergman brought up. Bergman told a story, I reacted to it, and in my reaction was the lie.
Got it.
Greg, do you have it?
Yeah, now I got it.
Okay. Eddie.
I don't listen to Greg either. So
Eddie in Long Beach. Eddie, you
How
there?
did you get these seats?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, Eddie, what did I lie about?
Okay, John. I believe that you lied about Judy Settle texting you about a guy with a 90-degree arm.
No, Judy did text me. That was Judy, the great Judy Cito. So that's not it. Okay. The story, Greg, correct me if I'm wrong, the story you brought up, was it during Bobcat or outside of Bobcat?
It was during Bobcat.
Okay, so
Yep.
Greg brought it up during Bobcat. Here's Danny in La Puente. Hey, Danny, you're on ESPN LA. Hi.
Yeah, I'm going to guess it was the Uber story, canceling the Uber because you didn't sing it.
No, that was true. I did cancel an Uber and they didn't show up. But, Danny, that will lead me to my next hint. It is car-related. It's not the Uber story, but it is automotive related. All right, it's a big hint. Raymond in L.A. Raymond, what did I lie about?
Well, I would say the lie of the day and the lie of the year is you actually being a Raider fan.
No. If you've been listening for a while.
that's true, too.
Yeah, that's true, too. All right. It specifically, let me see if this is too big of a hint. Part of the lie has to do with, that's a good hint.
Yeah.
Ramona Googled it. Ramona Googled something, and then I lied about it.
Oh, see, now I know what it is because it involves me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Okay, Mason.
I love you, Momo.
Mason's not here, or is she? Yeah. Otis in Longdale. All right, that's a lot of hints, Otis. Ramona Googled it. Bergman brought it up during Bobcat. It's automotive related. What did I lie about?
The lie of the day is you got a parking citation.
Boom, Otis! Not only have I never let my registration lapse, I'm the type of guy that as soon as it comes in the mail, next day I pay
100%. You are definitely that guy.
My sticker is like 9 months in advance. I've never even gotten down to
I've never
month.
seen you with one hair out of place.
Thank you.
By the way, this is Momo.
I'm kind of a big deal.
Yeah. Otis, congratulations, man. You're going Tuesday night. You can bring somebody with you. Jacob Imrani is here. And Jacob, Otis has full permission to empty the minibar at your suite, right?
Absolutely. We're doubling up for Otis.
All right, Otis, you're in. And hang on. Bergman's going to get some info from you. Line 5.
Bring it around.
Hey, all that stuff. And the reason Jacob is here is he sponsors Game of Games. We had him play last week when we were at Rams camp. First time Jacob has ever played. I took him to overtime. I took him to the tiebreaker.
I was listening.
And Jacob knocked me out.
Yeah.
So he's the only person in our Game of Games world who has a perfect winning percentage. He is 1-0. But I'm coming for you now.
We're changing that today.
I'm coming for you now. It is Jorge's game. Jorge, was it your game that Jacob won last time?
Was it last Friday? It was a Friday that probably.
Yeah, I think it was.
So
I think so. Jorge always has great games, and it's coming next. Momo Informace, Game of Games sponsored by the great Jacob Imrani is next. ESPN LA.
6 p.m. at the Buffalo Wild Wings Howard Hughes Center. 6801 Center Drive, right off the 405. Come and watch the Battle for LA with Coors Light drafts and bucket specials and tons of great deals on bar food and, of course, wings. Stay and hang for the game and win great prizes from 710 ESPN. It's all happening this Saturday, 6 p.m. at Buffalo Wild Wings in the Howard Hughes Center. See you there. on the #1 sports radio show in L.A., Mason and Ireland. Game of Games. Game of Games presented by CallJacob.com. Call Jacob. Everyone loves a fighter, but in this town, winning matters, especially after an accident. So remember, anyone can fight, but CallJacob.com is here for you when you need a big win. After an accident, go to CallJacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. We got the jingle. Call Jacob. Thank you. Game of Games time. Take it away, Mace.
Mace isn't here, but Momo's here.
I'm standing up.
And we have Momo say seriously.
Go.
Jacob and Ronnie is here.
Stand up. Let's go.
No, I love this.
Yes. Oh, I'm standing. I'm always standing, Momo. There you go, Jacob.
Now Jacob's standing.
Let's go. Let's do that Dodger thing that you said, right?
Does it make you
Turner thing.
Does it make you uncomfortable that even though you're standing and I'm sitting, we're still the same height?
No, I'm used to it.
Okay. So Game of Games is very, very close this month. Here are the totals in Game of Games. Now,
you don't have to stand. I just
you can if you want though, Jacob.
In respect for you on
okay.
stage.
All right. Bergman 2, Ireland 2, Laura 1, Beto 1, Jacob 1, Jorge 1, Funch 1, Pepe 1, Momo won yesterday in a dominant appearance.
Go.
And she is dialed in. Jorge Briones has Game of Games. Jorge's games are always great. What do we got today, Jorge?
All right, guys. So I hope you know your movies because I got 21 different movie quotes, and I want you to guess that movie.
Love it.
Oh, I may not
love
be good
it.
at this.
Okay, so it's Bergman.
Yeah,
It's Bergman, Momo, Jacob. Is your name your buzzer?
Name is your buzzer, yes.
All right, here we go.
All right, here we go.
Jacob, name's your buzzer.
All right, Jacob. So if you know Jacob, just say your name. Okay.
All right, ready, Jacob? Here we go.
There's no flying in baseball.
Greg.
Greg.
That is League of Their Own.
Oh, Greg.
Very close. Okay, Greg's on the board.
Houston, we have a problem.
Jacob.
Greg.
Apollo 13.
Apollo 13.
Oh, I didn't even hear Bergman say anything.
I didn't either.
Okay, here we go.
All of us. Okay.
All right, here we go. Number 3.
Roads.
Momo. Where we're going, there are no roads. Back to the
Oh,
future.
Back to the Future.
you almost missed that.
No,
You almost missed that.
She got it.
I got it.
Jacob and I aren't on the board. They're quick.
Jacob, does your mic work? Can you say Jacob real fast?
Jacob.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, you're working. All right, Jacob, we got to get
You're
with
just
it.
going to have to go fast. No,
All right, here
actually,
we
you know what? Get the bounce going. Let's get the bounce.
All right, 2-1, Bergman in front.
Number 4.
You've got to ask yourself one question.
Ireland.
Ireland.
It's Dirty Harry.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Harry.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Okay, Bergman 2, Momo 1, Ireland 1. Jacob, you alive over there?
Keep going. Get the bounce.
You guys are coming for me today.
All right, here we go.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't
Ireland.
stop and look around once in a while.
It's Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
That's right. Oh, man.
Ireland 2, Bergman 2, Momo 1.
The key, Jacob, is to bring in even if you don't know it.
All right, here we go. Next one.
Life was life.
Greg.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah! Son of a...
Careful.
All right, Bergman 3.
All right, here we go. Next one.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Oh, this is the old one. This is
I
real.
know.
Yes.
Momo.
Frankenstein it is.
Oh, yeah! Momo!
All right, Bergman 3, Momo 2, Ireland 2. Jacob.
Not breathing today.
Jacob's scoreless so far.
On the next one, ring in
Just say
before you even hear anything.
She's trying to trick you.
All right,
Here we go.
Here we go.
Greg. Good morning, Vietnam.
Yes. Good morning, Vietnam.
Are you sure you didn't hear me first?
No.
Bergman's got 4. Here we go.
Blame the delay. Okay. All right, here's the next one.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Ireland.
Oh.
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas.
Yeah.
Okay. That was good.
Bergman 4, Ireland 3, Ramona 2. Jacob.
Let's go. Let's go. Come on, Jacob. Come on, let's
Just
go.
say Jacob for me one time.
I'm
Let me
going to
hear
do it right now. Jacob!
Yeah, there it is. Perfect. All right. It works. It works.
This is yours, Jacob, right here.
Snakes.
Jacob!
Momo.
Jacob.
Why did it have to be snakes?
Momo. Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones today?
Oh, okay. It's getting close. Except for you, Jacob. You
at least rang in.
I'm just a guest here today.
That's okay.
Here's the next one.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
Ireland.
I can't even
Ireland.
hear it.
Jaws.
Jaws it is.
I wouldn't have got that.
Tied with Bergman. Ireland and Bergman each have 4. Momo has 3.
All right, next
let's
one.
go.
Show me the money.
Greg.
Oh,
That was me.
Well, that was tough. Let's go, Greg.
Jerry Maguire.
Just because you're in the room.
No,
with
it has nothing to do with that. I went in first.
Jorge, are those things labeled?
No.
Okay.
They're Adobe
Okay.
Edition.
You know what?
Okay.
He's sitting closer to you.
Yeah. All right, Bergman, you got the lead. I thought Ramona was
I can't see anything anyway.
Okay, good. Justin's blocking Greg's view.
That doesn't matter. I'm getting it off the sound. Hey, that's complaining, by the way. You be careful.
All right, here we go.
Next one.
Greg.
Jackson. Momo.
Greg.
I was first there. Yeah, it was Karate Kid.
Karate Kid.
Yeah, he was first there.
Okay.
I thought I was first there.
Okay.
Sorry, Jacob.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right, here's the next one.
Say hello to my
Greg.
little friend.
Jacob.
Greg.
Scarface.
Scarface.
Okay, Bergman's got a commanding
yeah.
lead now. He's up 7-4. Here we go.
All right, here's the next one.
I'll be back.
Greg.
Jacob.
Ireland.
That is Terminator.
That is Terminator.
Okay, 7-5.
That's actually Terminator 2.
Oh, shut up.
I got in trouble for that.
Stop.
Shut
That
up.
was
man.
Terminator 2. Hey, I got in trouble for that last time. Just saying. Just saying.
All right, next one.
Dangerously close to losing a point
I
over
think we
there.
need to start tuning him out.
It was Terminator 2?
Yeah.
Here
No,
we go.
here we go.
I see dead.
Greg.
Ireland.
6 cents.
6 cents.
7-6, Bergman. Coming for you.
I'm just going to say it louder.
I got 4 more.
Okay, 4 more. Here we go.
Last 4.
I got to get one. I have to get one.
Don't get it. Here we go.
I'm gonna make him an offer again.
Greg.
Ireland.
Godfather.
Godfather.
Tied up, Bergman. 3 left.
All right, here we go.
You're killing me, Smart.
Greg.
Ireland.
Sandlot.
That is Sandlot.
Boom,
Good,
got the
Ireland.
lead.
Good job.
2 more.
Good job. Good job. You just got to go, Jacob. Come on. You got to go.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Hasta la vista.
Greg.
Jacob.
All right, Jacob. Let's give it to Jacob.
Jacob.
La vista, baby.
Come on, Jacob.
Come on.
3,
It's already been said. It's already been said.
1.
It's Schwarzenegger
Greg.
Day.
Oh, yes.
Greg,
He's
Greg.
got it. He's got it. He's got it.
No.
Let's give it to him. What is it,
What
Jacob?
movie is Schwarzenegger in?
What is it?
I'm under
You just
stress
said
right
it.
now.
I said
Too
it
much
earlier.
We
pressure.
already said it. We already
Hasta
said
la
it.
vista.
Terminator.
There it is. Jacob's on the board.
There we
You're
go.
only giving
So
him that
much
so you don't
pressure.
All right,
All right, here's the last one.
here we go.
Greg.
And beyond.
It's Toy Story.
Toy Story.
Okay,
We're tied.
We got a problem here. Okay, so if he has no tiebreaker, we each get one.
All right.
All
That's
right,
fair.
enough.
I got one more.
Okay.
Guess
Okay,
this one.
here we go.
Listen closely. This is between you two, right?
Yeah,
Tiebreaker.
just me and Bergman playing this
I'll
one.
help you, John, if I
No.
No help.
Here
Here we
we
go.
No, we're ganging up on you.
All right, here he goes.
I am your father.
Greg. Star Wars.
Star Wars. I am your
That's Darth
father.
Vader.
Yeah, Darth Vader.
Okay, Bergman, you get it. You get the point.
Yo, baby.
You're up 3-2. Jacob.
Yeah. Good job, Jacob.
Jacob, your dominance in Game of Games is short-lived. What happened?
It's called the sophomore jinx.
No. This is just a really hard game. You have to go so fast. And you have to be super nerdy to know
Jorge,
all of
great
those.
game, though, man.
All right, man.
That was a great game.
Good job, guys.
On the outside. Although, Greg, the fact that Star Wars was the tiebreaker is basically right in your
I don't have any.
friggin'
Yeah, I was in my wheelhouse, but that's just.
I have
you
a
know.
note. I have a note for Jorge on these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to make it to where the first part of the quote is not the one we're all going to know.
Well, no, that's why he
Well,
does it.
that's
Yeah,
why.
we have
So,
quick.
You have to be quick.
It's a movement.
Yeah, I do what I want. Momo, come on. It's my game.
Come
By
at
the
me.
way, okay, you, Ramona,
Yeah.
you had 3. Now you
At
have
least.
2 because that's a complaint. Yeah, right. Now, Jacob, are there any restrictions on Tuesday night in the Jacob and Ronnie suite at the LAFC game?
The only
All you can eat, all you can drink?
Our
all you
lawyer.
can, all
Please
you can
consider
drink.
all your
The only
options.
restriction is if you come and you're not hyped up for LAFC.
Okay.
That's the biggest
You
thing
gotta
we want
represent.
you to do. That's right. Represent.
Would you allow a face painter?
Yes.
What, Greg?
How much you giving me?
Support the team, man. Putty.
Got to support the team.
Yeah.
I mean, I will. I will be happy to do it for some mythical money.
$1,000 of my mythical money if you paint your face.
That's not enough.
Jorge, $1,000 in mythical money if you paint your face.
Half black, half gold. Let's do it.
Done. Okay,
Yeah.
there
Oh,
it
you
is.
took the mythical money.
There we go. Jumping in, Jorge.
Excellent. I actually thought that was that. Jorge always puts a lot of work into his
Yeah.
games, and so that was well worth doing it. Jacob, did you watch the Field of Dreams game last night at all in Iowa?
I did not.
Okay,
I
so
did not.
I'm going to describe something that happened that was incredibly creepy.
Oh,
Harry Carey
All right.
showed up as a ghost, as a hologram.
wow.
All right? Cool or creepy?
For me,
Yeah.
cool.
For me, creepy as hell.
Really?
Well, I wouldn't want Vin Scully to do it. That's why. Or I'm a Chick Hearn guy. Like, I wouldn't want them to make a hologram of Chick. Right? Jorge, where are you on that? Cool or creepy?
Kind of creepy, man, to be honest. Yeah.
So I doubt they'll do it again, but it was kind of weird. Momo, you're creepy,
Oh,
right?
I think it's creepy, yeah. I also think it was unnecessary. Like, it's the coolest thing to be out at the Field of Dreams in Iowa anyway. Just let it be cool.
But I think these days everyone's trying to add yet another layer. You know what I'm saying? And everyone's talking about all these guys who are, really just idols of so many people. But obviously it's nice for them to get some feedback because here I'm the only person who thought it was cool.
Right. Well, and I think that it seems. What is this? There's some dispute here. Why did John get Terminator 1? Greg did the same thing last time, and John didn't want Greg to get the point.
And I complained, and I went, fine, give me a minus 1,000.
Yeah, that's that was the birth. That was the birth of minus 1,000.
Yes, it
was. I think so far this year, Mason, Greg, and I have all played minus 1,000 because we got fed up and just said, "Oh, screw all you guys, minus 1,000." Yeah. Well, Bergman, you now have a real opportunity here because I am in Idaho all next week.
Yes, you are.
So unless you completely wet the bed,
very possible,
and and don't get any right, and Momo's in here on Monday, even though we're not supposed to know. So I'm counting on you to take Greg down a couple of times next week while you're here. Like, what happened to the Momo that was here yesterday and kicked everyone's ass?
I thought I was on it, but you guys are so fast. Like, there was a lot that were really close, but I think Jorge only has ears for Greg.
No, I thought
Jorge.
Greg, you did well. Hey, Jacob, we got to move on to Super Crosstalk, but thank you for coming in. You're always a good sport, and most of all, thank you for the thing Tuesday night. That's a really cool,
guys. It was great.
Yeah, and we'll see. I won't be there, but these guys will all see you on Tuesday.
Well, we're gonna miss you.
All right, man. And by the way, we appreciate you sponsoring Game of Games. It is a it was a long time running joke that we needed somebody to sponsor Game of Games who actually gets the show. Yeah. And that is certainly you.
Well, I appreciate you guys.
And so Game of Games sponsored by Jacobs, as he likes to say, winning matters. After an accident, you got to go to calljacob.com or call 844-24-JACOB. That's 844-24-JACOB. Thank you, my friend. Always
Thanks,
good
guys.
to see
Have
you.
a great weekend.
There it is. There's the jingle. Jacob and Ronnie. All right, Jorge, hit the stager.
ESPN AM 710 Los Angeles. KRDC AM 1110 Pasadena, Los Angeles.
K256CX 99.1 FM Pasadena, Los Angeles.
It's the greatest segment in LA sports radio history.
Oh my God. When the shows come together for magic on the radio.
It will only grow stronger. Super Crosstalk.
Are we ready for Sedano and Cap to join Mason and Ireland?
Super Crosstalk begins.
Super Crosstalk. Presented by Coors Light. Coors Light. Made to chill.
It's time for Super Crosstalk.
All right, we welcome to the stage Scott Kaplan and Beto Duran. They're going to carry you home through the afternoon. Hey, by the way, what did you guys think of the Harry Carey hologram? Cappy, cool or creepy in your opinion?
I found it creepy, but
Me too.
I kind of was wondering, and this is where my head goes, is like, so they use Harry Carey, his face, his name, his voice, etc. Anybody get paid on that? Like, is there an estate that makes money?
No, I think you got to get the Cubs to approve it. And hey, Beto, do me a favor. Walk in here.
Okay,
it's
now?
It's so loud in there that we're gonna have trouble hearing you. Beto was in the auxiliary studio because we had everybody in here.
But I didn't watch it. Jorge can only hear Greg.
Minus 1,000 tomorrow, Monday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's it. Minus a point.
minus a point. Headphones over here, Beto, if you need them.
But John, I didn't watch that. I mean, did you guys, Ramona? Did you guys watch this game last night? I honestly, there were three things I thought I had a choice of. There was preseason NFL football, which I never watch. There was this Field of Dreams game that if it was not between the Cubs and the Reds, maybe I would have watched it if it was an interesting game, maybe. And then Little League World Series. I went with NFL preseason football.
My problem I have with preseason, Beto, is that nobody plays their guys.
No idea who they are.
Right.
No
like the Rams Cap play no starters, like 0 for 22.
And there's another reason, the injuries. Drake London, the kid out of USC, right now in the game that's going on, already hurt.
No way.
No, he's coming off an injury.
He already came
too.
off. So
and Deshaun Watson's playing, right?
I don't know. I just saw the Twitter where it said Drake off the field.
Yeah, I know that that the ruling on Deshaun Watson didn't come down, so they're going to play him. Cap, would you play him if you were the Browns, or would you sit him? What do you got, Greg?
I got some breaking
Whoa.
news.
Wait a second. Don't tell me this is happening.
You see
right
it too?
now.
Wow.
Padres star Fernando Tatis Jr. violated Major League Baseball's performance-enhancing drug policy and is facing a suspension. Sources familiar with the situation told Jeff Passan.
Yeah, he
That
just
is
tweeted it
hilarious.
right now. Why is it hilarious, man? See,
Because
don't act like you're. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, here's why. Because here's a kid who went home this past summer, got on a motorcycle, fell off, got hurt, didn't take care of his injury, came back, then had surgery, has missed the entire season so far. They make these trades because, they're thinking, well, when this kid gets back, and now here he is potentially violating some sort of substance abuse policy, which might potentially maybe not put him on the field at all this year. And when I say hilarious, I'm like, dude, this kid is not grown up. And his actions would tell you that. Wow, I'm shocked to hear it, though. Wow.
You just put your team in just a terrible spot. The whole reason they went and did that trade is so they could put those 3 stars on the field in the postseason. And now he might jeopardize the postseason.
23 years old.
Jeez. That is brutal.
So it just makes you
news
wonder,
for
like,
the
what was he
Padres.
taking to get
Padres
back?
That, stuff just seems to happen to them, right? They do all theoretically they've done everything right here. They've done all these trades. They're going for it. They're all in. I don't know. That's really unfortunate. I hope
makes you wonder exactly what was he taking to try to get back on the field. And these guys all know what you can, you cannot do.
Games. It just came down.
Is that what it is?
Like they are automatically suspending him?
80 games. 80 game suspension without pay. So I would assume that means that, and that includes playoff games, right?
Yeah, he's done.
There's only 60 games left in the regular season, so this would knock him out.
Where are you seeing the 80 games?
Major League Baseball just released it.
Oh,
dude, this is unbelievable. Though, think about it. Like again, here's this young kid. He comes in and he makes an immediate impact. They give him a big, gigantic contract long before they had to, and he has turned. Last year a lot of injuries, and now this year completely gone.
Beto, it's something called Clostebol. CLOSTEBOL, a performance enhancing. It's a steroid.
Yeah.
And, like you said, you wonder if he, look, I'm desperate to get back out there. We have Soto. We can make a World Series right now, and now it's going to completely.
But then the way that they came down with it immediately, which means he probably knew last week, maybe 2 weeks ago.
Right. Yeah, he's been very quiet. He hasn't commented since the Soto trade, has he, Cal?
No, not at all.
But he's been down in Double-A.
No, I'm talking about the way that the team probably, or MLB already told him. This isn't coming as a gotcha to him.
So I'm reading the I
don't know about that, Beto.
No, that's how they usually do it. The players know.
It's a synthetic anabolic steroid. It's a derivative of testosterone.
Yeah, the players know usually was it like a week before.
I know,
get suspended like that.
I know, but think about it.
At least.
But he's been down in Double-A, and like the manager of the Padres, every day that's all he talks about is he's down there. He had a couple of hits, a couple at bats. He's doing great. We'll have him back by mid-August.
Well, remember, Cap also trying to figure out exactly how much of a suspension, or is there another test that they can take? The teams are going to try to do as much as they can to make sure that this doesn't happen.
Boy, to get caught for PEDs
today
is
in this day and age,
you got to be a pretty big knucklehead.
Yeah,
you're hoping that this is just me speculating. You're hoping that whatever it is you took isn't going to get caught. Like
I'm reading about this.
You might be masking something else.
This says it's increased despite the prohibition of the IOC against this drug.
IOC stuff.
IOC, okay, World Anti-Doping.
Yeah, when you get into the IOC, you're doing something bad.
The abuse of this steroid is increasing, mainly in Brazilian athletes in Brazil. It's present in medicines for dermatologic and gynecologic treatments, whereas the U.S. FDA does not approve of the use of these medicines that contain those anabolic agents.
You're masking something.
It's just... Wow, this is a stunning blow to the Padres.
Well, it was bound to happen
because they haven't had him all year.
Right, but the reason they traded for Soto, they'll get him back next year. But they got Soto for 3 postseasons. This one and 2 more. You just took one off the board. Now with no Tatis.
But good thing they got Soto.
Yeah, it is. I can't see them though going on a run.
Now what, Ramona?
There's another thing about it could be in contaminated meat.
Yeah,
that's another one of those.
That might have been why they were talking about taking so long to actually announce it.
That's a good one because that's the one. That's the one you can always rely on.
If you had intercourse with somebody else who was taking it.
Yeah,
is that they're saying that's
that happened to like a
no,
bodybuilder
I'm just reading,
or something.
I'm just reading about this is the clinical chemistry. I'm just looking on Oxford Academic.
Right.
What if I told you?
What if I told you?
No,
no. I mean, I'm just. This is like
There's
sometimes. A lot of times when people get busted for.
What if I told you?
Yeah.
there's usually something. There's going to be an explanation. He's going to come out with some reason why he tested positive. He's going to say he did it, and
I was trying to get back up.
Yeah.
All
right,
or,
so we're gonna.
I accidentally did it.
My favorite's always when they say, I took a product that I got and I didn't know that any of this was in there, and I'm now going to sue them. And then they never do. They never sue them, All
right, so we're kind of covering two stories here at once. Yeah. Fernando Tatis suspended for 80 games. He's done for the rest of the year for taking a steroid. Deshaun Watson is expected to take the field tonight for the first time in over 500 days, and he's got all this stuff going on with these massage therapists. It's a longer explanation, but I'll give you the short version. He was suspended for 6 games by an NFL arbitrator. Roger Goodell and the league didn't think that was long enough, so they're appealing that 6-game suspension. The appeal ruling has not come down yet, so Watson's kind of a guy in limbo, and since the ruling hasn't come down, he's eligible to play tonight. Now, one thing he's never done, guys, this entire time, and I've kind of been astounded by it, is he's never shown any remorse at all. His consistent position has been, I have done nothing wrong. I don't deserve any suspension. He just did an interview pregame with the NFL Network. And as far as I know, this is the first time he has shown any contrition. He says, quote, I want to say that I am truly sorry to all of the women that I have impacted in this situation. So you wonder if there's a settlement coming.
Well, there's been a settlement of most of these cases.
Right, but I'm saying a settlement between Cap, the league,
and the NFL,
and
him,
and him.
Possible.
That
maybe
8 games, 10 games, whatever.
And he's also talking to the league network.
Right.
He could have talked to anybody else.
But also, this is a change in tune by Watson.
But listen carefully to what he's saying, though, John. Listen to the words. I want to say I'm truly sorry to all the women that I've impacted in this situation. I'll guarantee you that those were carefully chosen words.
Oh, yeah.
So that he's not saying, I did something wrong. He's saying, I impacted you in this situation. Like, you've been involved in all of this. It's turned into a mess. You've been impacted in your life. He's not saying, I'm sorry for what I did to you. I mean, I'm just thinking that a lot of this could be PR.
Yeah, I've never heard the word sorry come out of his mouth since this whole thing started until now. Yeah, because he doesn't want to admit any wrong. But I mean, come on, Beto. There's that one report. Who was Jenny Venters
from SI?
Yeah, interviewed 68 women that he had massages with 68 different. I love massages. I have my own massage chair. I haven't had 68 women give me a massage in my whole life. He had it done in 1 year. Wow.
Wow.
So I think that there may be a settlement possibility going on here. We'll see. We'll see. But hey, by the way, Cap, would you have put him out there? Let me play something for you. Get up the.
I have a massage chair.
Whether or not you'll hear Dan Graziano ask the question. Damian Woody says, I wouldn't even put him out there. Mike Tannenbaum says he would. Here's that.
Let's assume for now that it's status quo and that he's suspended the first 6 games of the season but allowed to play in the preseason. If he is allowed to play, should he?
What's the point? I mean, what's really the point of Deshaun Watson playing in the preseason game? Oh, I'm going to play him so he's going to be ready to play week 7? That, to me, makes absolutely no sense when you got the backup quarterback in Jacoby Brissett that you obviously have to get ready. And on top of that, we know in this league, all it takes is one hit for you to find, for your backup quarterback. So the third-string quarterback needs to get reps just in case, some type of injury happens to Jacoby Brissett. I know he's the new shiny toy with the Cleveland Browns, but to me, it just doesn't make any sense to have him out there.
Well, I mean, look, it's preseason, so they're probably all going to play at some point in the game. But, Mike, you see it differently. You think there is value in him playing.
Yeah, D-Wood, to me, this is a very unusual situation in that he's their franchise quarterback. It's been 585 days since he's played football. He needs reps at some point. This is probably the last meaningful opportunity.
Cap, if you were running the Browns, would you play Deshaun Watson tonight?
Yeah, I think both guys make a really compelling case. I really do. Because on one hand, if you play him, which he's going to play apparently here, the game's about to start. I was trying to find it, but the NFL Network has some other lame game on right now. But on one hand, you want to get him reps, and you want to get him reps with the first-team guys. And on the other hand, you might not want to play him because, A, you got to get somebody else prepared, and B, what if this dude goes out there for a quarter and gets hurt for some reason? So I think I'm leaning towards I don't really see a reason to play him.
There's no need to have him right now. Like, why? You already know you're going to hear backlash. You already know what's going on. Like,
right.
Why?
I'll give you my reason. I would play him, and here's why. I think the first time he plays is going to be weird and awkward and goofy, and why not do that in a preseason
So get it out
game?
of the way?
Right. That's why I would do it. That's why I would play him.
think
Momo, would you play him?
No way, because he hasn't faced enough of the punishment yet, and I think in order, people always think like you have to. It's going to be bad whenever you come back, but I think it's less bad if the general public feels like you've paid a price or you've had the punishment served, the time served, and so like he hasn't done that yet, and I don't know at all.
So I'm super biased in this story, by the way, guys. I have to make an admission, putting my cards on the table here for you. You ready? So my college roommate is the offensive coordinator of the Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
And so when you're an offensive coordinator,
What's his name?
His name's Alex Van Pelt. When you're an offensive coordinator, you're like one step away from being a head coach, right?
Of course. Yeah.
And to think,
I think Alex has interviewed for head coaching jobs before, hasn't he, Cap?
Yeah, he's like one of those guys that's next in line, so to speak, if you will, right?
Okay.
And most of that is because of his career coaching Aaron Rodgers and the success that they had together, et cetera. But it just bothers me so much that he goes to Cleveland and they have 1 year where Baker Mayfield looks like he's on the verge of being a star. They make it to the playoffs, and then the following year, which was last year, they fall all over themselves. And now they think they're getting a great player, but really what they've done is they've accepted all of the controversy. Somebody was going to, so they did. But for me, it's personal because here's my best pal. I want to see him get a head coaching job, and he tells me that Watson is an incredible player, which I know a lot of us already knew that in advance, but he scouted and did all the film work. Now he gets to see him on the field, and he sees how really special of a talent he is. Not that excuses what he did, but it's like, man, somebody gets fired on stuff like this. People get scapegoated on stuff like this, and they may not have their best player, a guy who's supposed to be a top 5 quarterback.
Yeah, and what's interesting, I would, if I was the Browns, trade for Jimmy G.
Yeah, you've been saying that, right? Would you say Giants too?
Yeah, I would. I don't understand why. I mean, I say this all the time. It seems to me that professional general managers in most sports are only concerned about not getting fired. Very few of them go for it. Like Daryl Morey is a go for it guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
But very few GMs go for it. If I'm the GM in Cleveland, he's already shown he's not scared. He's signing Deshaun Watson. Go all the way. Go bring in Jimmy G. Give Van Pelt and the Browns a chance to win for 6, 7, 8, however long he's suspended weeks. And then Jimmy G's auditioning for other teams for the following season, and Cap, you give yourself a chance to have. They're a playoff team. They're good. They're deep. Myles Garrett might be the best defensive player in the AFC.
Monster.
But they knew all of these issues before they traded for him.
Absolutely.
I mean, they knew.
Right. But I'm saying, so why not go all the way? Why stick Jacoby Brissett in there when you can go get Jimmy G for?
Yeah, no, I
Cap,
agree
what do you
with
think?
you on
Second
Jimmy G.
round pick gets you Jimmy G?
Yeah, but I got to say, honestly, like Jimmy Garoppolo, look, he's had an excellent career. He really has. And he's been to a Super Bowl and an NFC Championship game. But I don't think he's that much better. Like, he's not head and shoulders, but like better. Like, where you're like, oh, Jimmy G, Jacoby Brissett, man, it's not even close. I just think they're a team that believes they can win by running the football.
I mean, also, if you bring in Jimmy G, don't you start getting the look over your shoulder questions every week?
Not for Deshaun Watson. He's locked in as the number one. Yeah, I mean, there's no cover to cut. Deshaun Watson, they gave him more guaranteed money than anybody in the history of the NFL. He's your quarterback. All right, you guys got a lot to talk about. By the way, the Padres have just issued a statement. I will leave that to you guys. Momo, thank you for doing this.
Yeah, fun.
Coming up, Beto Duran, Scott Kaplan for Sedano and Cap, ESPN LA.